What's up, beautiful people of the internet? It's your boy, EK Visions, and today we have another episode of Themanifest, and we have the lovely soul Kreativity on the show today.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, good. So for the people of the city who don't know who you are, explain.
My real name is Lori. I'm a photographer here. I've been here my whole life. What else should I tell them?
I don't know, whatever you have to offer. What do you do?
I'm a public servant. I work in the government, and I also do work in photography, and I go to school for that.
Okay, and how did this photography creative mindset, how did this all start?
It randomly started a few years ago. I used to go on set with my brother. He would bring me to he is a stylist, so he would go on set and would style shoots, and I would always be there behind the scene, helping him and assisting him. And then I guess he saw that I was more interested in what was happening with the camera and the lights, so he eventually just gave me his camera, and I never let it go.
So what were you doing with the camera when you first got it? Were you the type of person just stay in your room and? Because I know when I receive new products, I'm just on YouTube all day. I won't leave my house.
See, I wish I was more like that.
Yeah.
I just went outside and just started playing with different settings. Honestly, looking back now, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I would be doing shutter to something for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I just played around with it. I ran around the city outside. Mainly did a lot of street photography.
Mm-hmm. And what was the first camera that you used? Because a lot of people think that they have to have crazy setup to get started, just to get started. So what was the first camera that you started off with?
I don't remember what his camera was. I think it was a I don't remember what his camera was, but my first camera was D7200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did the name come from?
Soul Kreativity?
Yeah.
Literally, I was laying in bed one day. I had deleted Instagram at this point.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I want to stay off social media.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, I'm going to get it back, but I want to do it specifically for my art. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking of a name that would explain my art and where it comes from. Yeah. And I like to think that it comes from my soul, my spirit. If it's not something I connected with, I wouldn't want to share it. Mm-hmm. And Kreativity, well, it's just Kreativity. I added the K to give it more of an urban street feel, because I was doing more street photography at the time.
Okay.
So that's,
And when you transitioned in high school, was that where it all started? Was that?
No, it was actually after my first year of university.
Okay. And I also read up on you, and you said that you went to an art school, but then you decided to take a year off.
Yeah.
During that time, why is that?
So, man. Tough question.
No, because a lot of people, I was just talking off camera, a lot of people like to go to school just to go to school.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. People don't realize that until it's too late that they need to do whatever it is that they love, right? Yeah. And you were kind of in that field of art, but still decided to take a year off. And you said on your website that you wanted to find yourself more and kind of explore more. Yeah. How did that thought process come about? Okay,
so I was initially in university for communications, and then that's when I took a year off, and then I went back for art, but I went to I did painting classes, and then I did general arts, but it wasn't fulfilling me, I wasn't getting what I wanted, and in university didn't have, Ottawa, you didn't have a photography course, and I knew that's what I wanted to focus on, but then going to college was not a good thing at the time. I was being judged by my family. You know. 100%. So I couldn't really do it. But then I just said fuck it. Took off some time. Realized I was in love with this camera. Went back to school for it. Literally changed my life.
What kind of feedback were you getting from your parents? I know my mom, when I said I'm taking my year off, she started looking at me like I was crazy. Why would you take a year off? You're missing out. You need a degree to be successful. Basically, yeah. Is that exactly what you were getting, or?
Very similar. My mom is actually very, very cool. Mm-hmm. At first she was oh no, your future, da da da. And then she saw I was I had a plan. I was telling her how passionate I was, and my mom was all about the heart and doing what you love and being happy. So as soon as she saw that I was serious about it, she became my #1 supporter till this day. So it was hard at first, and my sister was even more tough. But then she's the one who ended up getting me my first camera. So everyone just kind of didn't like it at first and then just supported me like full force.
Okay, and what did you start shooting off at first? Was it just random people, or was it objects, or?
It was mainly sunsets, sunrises.
Okay.
I would do a lot of like sun gazing, and
suitable for Instagram.
Something like that. And then that led to, people just like in the street. Yeah.
And I read again on your website that you that you started shooting like homeless people. Would you just, was it candid pictures, or were you going up to them and say, "Yo, can I take your picture"?
Mostly I would ask them.
Yeah.
Because you'd probably get in a lot of trouble if you didn't. But a lot of the times, I would just, it's either like the way it would start with, they would just probably ask me for money, and I would be like, "Okay, like, can we exchange? Like, can I take a picture and then give you cash?" And then from there we start talking. So that's not
usually how it works, though. You're supposed to be getting paid, right?
Right? But they usually have amazing stories. Like, it's really inspiring. I think I kind of said on my website too, I was kind of like searching for something through all these people that I was taking pictures of. So
And how long have you, like right now, since you've taken it seriously and built your website, like how long has that been since you first started?
Like taking it seriously?
Yeah.
Like I would say 2 years, like since I started school.
Yeah. And after you graduate from school, like what were you looking to take your talents and your business? Are you trying to expand in different cities, or are you trying to stay in Ottawa or go to the States, Toronto?
I definitely want to expand. I want to stay here because Ottawa's home, but I think a big part of me wants to see what other cities have to offer and like how many more people I can take pictures of, like different faces and stuff. And like doing street photography in different like countries, I think that would be really cool.
What are some of top three like that you'd like to travel to?
I really want to go to Greece.
Yeah.
And India. Where else? Those are like the top two that I want to go. And I want to go back home. I had never been to Lebanon, so I really want to see what that's like.
And again, on your website, you have Toronto, New York, and I forget the other place. What's the difference between shooting out there, people-wise, culture-wise, architecture, whatever? What's the difference that you find in those places compared to Ottawa?
It's different. It's new. The longer I stay in these places, the more they start to feel like normal. But when you go there the first time, everything looks new, everything looks fresh, like everything's exciting.
Do you find it's easier to like network with people out there? Or?
Yeah.
Because I find like when I used to play ball, we'd go to the States and we'd all, big bunch of black guys, we'd say we're from Canada, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, y'all live in igloos out there?" Like, is that the kind of same reception that you're getting from them? Yeah. And are you traveling there often, or?
No, Toronto a little bit more. New York was a one-time thing. It was a lot easier to network for sure. You don't know people there, so you can kind of just let go of all barriers and just talk, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And coming back to the city of Ottawa, who are some people that you kind of not look up to, but you admire their work, whether it be photographers or musicians or whoever?
I look up to a lot of people. Cheesy as shit, or my mom, I have to say that. She's an artist.
Shout out to moms.
Hey, Mom. My brother, too. Like, I don't know, everyone around me is just really inspiring. I can't really pick one person. I actually think about this really often.
Yeah.
Like, who do I admire? There's too many.
Like who, off top, like just scrolling through Instagram, who's some people that you think let's start with the photography level, that are doing their thing? Whether it be on social media or actually getting big clients or...
From Ottawa?
Yeah, from Ottawa.
Can I say what I said before?
Whatever, yeah. No, go ahead, yeah.
So, like, Tina Picard is a photographer I really look up to. Her style is very cool. Her editing is amazing. She's more like editorial. I'm not sure if she started in Ottawa, but I met her here. And I think she's based in Toronto, though. But yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. And what is some advice that you'd give to the younger people trying to pick up a camera? Because I had Curbins, I don't know if you know the real Curbins.
I recently met him.
Yeah, I had him on the show last week, and he was saying when he started shooting, it was on his iPhone 4, and a lot of people were laughing at him because the transition from football to taking pictures wasn't really a thing. But I guess it's not as bad for you as a female, but what's some advice that you'd give to whether it be younger females trying to start at this, or even men trying to start at this? Like, what's some advice that you, or some tips and pointers that you give to them?
Just stay true to yourself.
How do you do that, though? Because we live in an Instagram age, right? With Instagram, Twitter, it's very, very hard, right? Yeah. So what are some things that you do that makes you stay true to yourself?
It's true. It's not, when I find myself kind of like lost in like the mix, I kind of just, I don't know if I'm going to answer this properly, but I just try to disconnect, disconnect from everything that's making you feel like confused or whatever, and just come back to like who you are. And if you want to pick up this camera, then find your style and just stick to it, whether it be a camera or anything, really.
And disconnecting, is that disconnecting from like the Twitter and the Instagram and friends and just really just isolating yourself, or? Just disconnect from anything that doesn't make you feel good. And I find social media does that. Like, I definitely have to disconnect. No, 100%. And how often do you find yourself disconnecting from social media?
Sheesh, quite often.
Because even myself, like, I went through a stretch where I had to take 2 months away from social media because I just didn't like things that people were posting, and you meet them in person, it was just like completely different, you know what I mean? So is that a frequent thing that's happening with you, like once a week, or?
Not once a week. It crosses my mind more often than I actually do it. I love social media for a lot of reasons, but yeah, I think at least like once a week I need to just put my phone away for a few hours and just kind of like not do that.
100%. I hear you. And my next question to you is, how are you finding these clients, like people to shoot? Like, how are you building that client base and building your portfolio? Because I know I talk to some photographers, and they say as soon as you get a few good-looking girls on their Instagram, like it's a wrap, like it can come in at a high pace. So how are you seeking these people out?
For me, it's been more like word of mouth and people finding me through Instagram, and me just trying to put myself out there as much as possible. I'm learning more like marketing skills. Just put yourself out there, I guess.
Are you going to these certain events that are happening in the city, or is it just strictly on the internet?
I wish I was going. I think my time management is where I suffer. But I wish I was going to more things like that. I think I would probably get more gigs that way. But mainly, just like social media and kind of putting together my own projects and trying to like brand myself through that.
And being in this game for, you said you've been taking it seriously for now 2 years. What would you describe your style to be? Like, are you just more of a portrait type, or are you street photography, or plants and sunrises still, or?
I think, I really like street. Street is always going to be there, but I'm leaning towards more like editorial and portraiture. I find there's a lot of creativity. Like, I can really create a scene and have like full control over it and manipulate it, which is really awesome. So editorial and street is where I'm heading. Okay.
And what programs are you using for these people that don't know or are trying to start, whether it be editing programs? Like, what couple programs that you're using that could probably help these people out if they're looking to get into this?
So I use Capture One and Photoshop. And like I was telling you earlier, I use Capture to kind of like organize. It's really good. You can even edit with it. We've learned how to edit with it. It's way too complicated for me. I can't do that. But Photoshop is really cool. It's like the more complicated version of Lightroom. But you have a lot more control of things too. Those are the 2 programs.
I'll just stick to the Instagram filters.
Take a picture. Seriously, sometimes it's best.
All right, any last words that you'd like to say to Ottawa or the world in general before we end this segment?
No.
Anything. This is your time to shine. You gotta say something.
I have nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, there you have it. Another episode on The Manifest, here with your boy EK Visions and Soul Creativity. Make sure to tune in to next week. Every Thursday, we're going to try to drop a video. Whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, give us a like, subscribe, contact, or comment. If there's anybody in the city of Ottawa specifically that you'd like for us to interview, just message, DM, whatever the case may be. And positive vibes only. You already know what it is. It's more than just a saying. It's a... Nah, she don't know. It's a lifestyle, and we're out.
I was thinking it.